Not even gonna try.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's a shit fan.
It's the effort that counts.
Yay!
It's literally red. Like, you can see the tear in it. It's bad, but anyway.
It's fine.
Hi, honey.
Hello, Ugly. And welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I am drinking some Diet Dr. Pepper because it is my current obsession drink. And I still had some in the fridge, and lemon water because obviously hydration is incredibly important.
Wonderful. And hello, hi, what's up? I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I too am just currently drinking water because why not? Why not? But if I was drinking anything else, I would probably be drinking it up mine.
I forgot, Jack.
Literally, I'm getting it within the next 7 days. All right.
I was gonna say I'm gonna remind you next week to make sure.
If you don't remind me, I will die.
It needs to be the first thing you remember to grab. So,
I mean,
Shop at laundrycreations.etsy.com for all your cup merch.
all of that, and you can even use it as a holder for all of your supplies because that's what mine is doing, holding scissors and my remote. So it's very multifaceted. So there you go. Get your cup mug, and we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. And I'm just looking at all of you Dragula fans out there. Get your cup merch.
The way Lana just said it's very multifaceted hit me for some reason. I'm not gonna lie. Hi everybody, it's Brook. I'm your real life Funko Pop because I have a massive effing head. And I'm really excited to talk about Dragula because I missed the first 2 episodes. So luckily I jumped in with a good one. So and I'm also drinking water out of my cup mug. No, cup mug.
Ta-da.
come on.
Mhm.
And my name is Jack. I am your resident college student. And, you know, I've never seen so much representation on an episode. I am so used to having to tie myself down in bed with rats in order to sleep. And I'm just so happy that's finally represented on TV. Also getting shit hotel rooms, that too.
Oh, I felt that.
I'm going to use the trapdoor.
Yeah, that was necessary and warranted right there.
It was very funny, though. I will say.
Yes.
I was entertained by that. But we are back for the filth, horror, glamour of Dragula season 5, where there's plenty of filth, horror, glamour, Abora, who actually is relevant to this week's episode. We will talk about it. I didn't realize that Abora would be relevant to this week's episode, but they are, so I'm excited to discuss it. But first, before we dive in, make sure to subscribe, hit all the buttons, support us because we are here almost every day of the week giving you almost every drag-related content piece we can.
Work, Devo.
Specifically, the filth, horror, glamour.
It was the Avora for me.
Abora.
And
And
oh no.
Wait.
Oh
Is
no.
someone here?
Abora.
I'm going to use the trapdoor.
And
Not
they're
looking
gone.
trapdooring
Great.
himself.
Well, I had to because it made sense for the bit.
Abora.
Abora, you have been eliminated. Trapdoor.
I think it was Abora Trapdoor. You've been eliminated.
Probably.
Yeah.
But we start this episode, we get our intro, and we get this cute little... It felt very 4D through the lens. The Boulets talking to us, giving us a full recap. I was like, oh, this is different. Okay. But I liked it.
I was not on last week, and I just want to do a quick shout out the Ade Dewey Dimbala of it all, because I love the Child's Play franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that's from, if you don't know. And
I didn't.
yeah, that's also like, that's how Chucky does like the incantation to become the doll, right? So anytime he does some sort of like, because it's like voodoo and all that mess. So there's also like a fun little way for them to like kind of hint at the fact that they were going to bring back JK at the beginning of that episode without like just throwing JK in. So yeah, loved that. Didn't get to mention that, but it was great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we start the episode. Everybody is coming in, and we're like, who's coming back? Is it Onyx on Dex? Or is it Cynthia? And it was Cynthia.
Yeah. No, it was very... It felt obvious just based on the critiques that were given out. And also that Cynthia kind of did well during the first episode, that it was kind of...
Well, also the fact that Cynthia absolutely slaughtered Onyx in the extermination. If we're
Correct.
going, if it's based on sheer number of maggots transferred alone, which is a sentence I never thought I would say, Cynthia won. And Cynthia does come back. I will still say, I am finding Cynthia a little bit more palatable in this episode, mostly because she's not the one fighting with JK in this episode. So I'm like, okay, cool. You go off and do your drag, and it's lovely, and we'll talk about her. I still find her very entertaining in the confessional as well. And like, she's got the one-liners, and you always need someone like that on a show like this. So I'm glad that Cynthia is that person. But yeah, Cynthia comes back. Everyone's excited. The drama doesn't happen yet. It will, but not yet. And we get our Boulet message via our new spooky flat screen TV and not going to the stage. I still find it weird, but okay. But we find out that this week's floor show is the haunted hotel, and immediately Jarvis starts panicking. It's from excitement, because this is his challenge. He is a ghost.
It's kind of him, you know.
And then we find out that the Fright feat this week is just a game of chance. You get to pick a key to one of the rooms in the haunted hotel, and one of these keys has what do they call it?
A room upgrade.
The upgrade. Thank you. One of them gets a room upgrade, and we'll talk about that room upgrade here in a second. But we get the long-awaited return. 2 episodes too late. I'm glad we're finally getting them in episode 3. But we have the return of the icon, the legend, the moment. The Boulet's first ever crowned Exorsister. Coco Kane! Yes! Coco Kane!
I'm sorry, you mean Rob Goddess from Dragula Titans.
Yeah.
Because that's the T. But
Yeah.
I will never complain about getting Coco Kane on my screen ever. So I'm going to be
hasn't
happy.
been on this season yet? Victoria Elizabeth Black.
You know who hasn't been on the season yet? Erica Clash.
Well, that's not going to happen, my dear. But
I love Erica.
But yes, Coco comes in, and I figured we would have Coco come in some capacity like this on during Fright feats or things like that. So she's just there to host it. And does she do a whole lot? No. Did I enjoy seeing her? Absolutely. She's just
Mugger.
She's just fun. She is Mugger, honestly. Lana, did you have any thoughts on Coco as this is your first exposure to Miss Kane?
I mean, I don't know who she is. So therefore the excitement that you all are feeling for her is lost on me. I was just like, oh, someone else coming in to host. Great. Good on you, gal. And she looks fabulous and yay. I would have been like, you know how when those guest judges or people come in, they're like, and we're gonna announce so and so, and everybody starts yelling. I'm like, I don't know who that is, but I'm gonna cheer because everybody else is.
That would be us if they announced the guest judge was all 5 members of NSYNC, and Lana would go crazy.
I would lose my mind by myself.
And we'd all be like,
Yay!
mostly yay for Lana, because I know.
Yay,
How much
Lance
she's
Bass! Woo, Lance Bass!
Sure. But yes, so our ghouls pick their key, and we find out that the room upgrade was going to Jarvis Hammer.
Yay!
Potentially the most random person to receive it, honestly.
Yeah, in the edit, I thought it was gonna go to somebody who had been like actively antagonistic or like part of a feud at this point, because that's usually how they would build it. But like, I'm not gonna complain about it.
And that's
Was
why I
not
think
the
this
worst.
was actually random.
Yeah.
It feels actually random because I'm like, this is potentially the most random choice you could have, and I love it.
Well, I mean, also, I don't know how they could have rigged that. Like, if they had
Tell
Unless
someone
they-
to pick a specific key.
Yeah,
That'd be
but
fair.
then in that case, they'd be
Put 'em
like,
in-
the fuck?
Yeah, put them in the order that they want them to go and tell the first person that they want. Put them first and tell them to pick this key.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Jarvis gets it, and the room upgrade twist is that Jarvis can then save himself from the extermination, save someone else from the extermination, or put someone in the extermination regardless of how they place. I think except for the winner. I think the winner, or no, I think even the winner
I-
could be.
Yeah,
'Cause it was
because
before
winner
the
wasn't
yeah.
declared.
yeah.
Yeah. So
It's also, we love seeing the return of the Key of Good and Evil. I don't care what they're calling it now, because it was one of my very few bright spots on season 4. So getting to see it here, I was thrilled.
I love it.
Thank you, Jade. Thank
you,
you.
Jade. Thanks,
God.
We're
Jade.
best friends.
Yeah, so then everybody's getting ready. They're doing their things and stuff and things. And I love Blackberri just going over to Jarvis, be like, "Hey, Jarvis,
Hey, girl.
you need anything, Jarvis?" And I love Jarvis in confessional being like, I do love that Blackberri is coming up to me and like begging for me not to use the key on her. I wasn't planning on it, but I do love seeing her squirm.
Also, I love Blackberry screen time, so I'm not going to complain about that.
Jarvis and Blackberri screen time. I said hello, yes. But we find out as well as part of the floor show this week that our monsters are doing a lip sync to a song from 1913, and I said, "Oh, that's cute." And then they played it later, and I was like, "Oh, well, okay."
Not the devil.
I mean,
Oh.
the one good thing is, we know that more than likely, if we were to ever play the song or sing it, we would very likely not get copyrighted.
Oh, no, I was like,
10 years old.
I was like, imagine that be the one time we get a copyright claim.
So,
But
fun fact, we literally can't because it is 1000% in the public domain. So, yay.
Okay, it was
That
a
makes
joke,
sense.
Brooke, and I love you ruining the joke.
I was just, okay.
It was a joke.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding.
but I will say,
That's
this
the devil's
type
song.
of song is completely outside every single person's wheelhouse here. So it is really interesting seeing them all have to adapt to this kind of song
Yeah.
versus a song that, like, for example, and it's probably going to come up later in the season, like an 80s or 70s rock song. Like, some of them are just naturally going to have that. This is no one. So having to adapt on the fly is really interesting.
Yeah. And someone that was having a very difficult time adjusting was Neo. Because we know Neo doesn't have a whole lot of performing experience. So they're going through it. They're panicking a little bit. And in this moment, I did love that we had both of the other trans contestants come over in Satanna and Fantasia. I think by happenstance, but I love that it was all three of them together. Just being like, no, you got this. Like, all the support. I was like, this is why I love Dragula so much. This is why I love Dragula so much.
And interesting. What we didn't mention was the back and forth of flirting between Neo and Orkgotik. At the beginning of this episode, I was like, anybody else find this weirdly weird, but not?
No more showmances on Dragula.
I mean, I didn't know they
Ruined an entire season, so I mean, why not ruin another one?
It literally ruined all of season 4.
Oh, wow.
Oh, picked up
All of
2
season
seasons of
4.
Dragula.
Also ruined all of Dragula Titans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I mean-
the entirety of Dragula Titans was a love triangle.
And it was the
And-
worst.
And it didn't matter in the end. So,
Literally
I mean,
was inconsequential.
do I mind Orkgotik and Niohuru? Not really. Like, of all people, I'm kind of okay with this.
I don't mind
Yeah.
Neo.
I'm just gonna let them do what they
Period.
want to do. But like,
I just thought it was interesting and like not weird, but like in a bad way. I was just like, oh, okay. But I
wouldn't have put those two together of anybody on this cast.
true. And I do hope that it's not the main focus of things, which we saw in the episode. They didn't make it a huge focus deal
No.
throughout the episode. So I'm happy about that. So they probably won't make it a huge, like a storyline throughout the season.
Whereas on Titans, I think it was literally, like, I'm not joking, I think 40 minutes of one episode.
Oh God, no, I couldn't do it.
it was
Like-
the absolute worst thing ever. It is more painful for me to watch those portions of Dragula Titans than to go back and watch like Big Brother 22. I'm not gonna lie.
Oof.
Like it was
Yeah.
that painful.
Oof.
I think I would agree with that.
Oof.
It was more
Okay.
painful than watching, like, the first 3 weeks of Big Brother 24.
Oof.
Oof.
Yeah.
I won't go that far, but it's bad. It's
I
real
would go
bad.
that far.
Well, at least we
Is
have a
it-
happy ending with that one, so
I'm about to
Can't
say,
argue
is
there.
it as painful as watching the whole season 19 and all of those showmances?
it's up there. It's
It's up
up there.
It is up there.
It's
Okay.
more painful than like 2 out of 3 of the showmances on Big Brother 19.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we move because I understand.
we move. We
Mhm.
move. I do love, as we're getting ready, there's just this like collective group pause, and everyone then focuses on Cynthia as she's just like giving her little performance at the Devil's Ball, and everyone's like, "Okay, work, Cynthia." And then I thought her lip sync performance was actually going to be better.
Me too.
Yeah. But, like,
Dragged for
I
Phil.
wanna say that right.
I mean, if we gonna be honest,
It wasn't
these
good.
lip syncs, it was only very few that I remember that was actually decent.
Well, before you dive any further, Lana,
We're not gonna go any further than that.
Attention competitors. Attention competitors. The floor show is about to begin.
I gotta finish stoning my tights.
I need to learn how to dance.
I think we all need to do it again. I'm going to play it again.
Attention competitors. Attention competitors. The floor show.
Okay, there we go.
Oh,
In the
we
middle of it,
missed
I would just
something.
be casually sipping from my cup milk.
We did forget to talk about something that happened before the floor show, though, which
Hmm.
was Throb and JK had,
Oh,
which is kind of important because last
kind
week,
of actually very important.
yeah, because last week you had that situation with everybody ganging up on JK and the Cauldron, pretty much,
Yes.
and Throb, in not so nice terms, told JK to just
Shut up.
shut up. But like,
Shut up.
to me, I took it when I was watching it. I took it as like, okay, just don't engage, don't respond.
I didn't
But-
take it that way.
Well, yeah, but that's how I'm taking it now. Like after
Mhm.
this week, that's how I get it now. That was what Throb was intending, and it maybe just didn't come out right. But like they had a really cute moment, and it was great. And this is an alliance I can get behind. These two, I'm here for it.
Knowing now that Jay didn't take anything that Throb did specifically, like very personally, I'm like, okay. I still stand by what we said last week regarding the situation. That just like optically, it didn't look great. But if Jay is fine with Throb, then I'm fine with Throb.
Me too.
I have bigger fish to fry this week.
Oh, trust, we'll get there.
Oh, we will. Oh, we will.
Yeah, things happened.
But okay, now we've covered everything.
Mhm.
So
Attention competitors. Attention competitors.
Oh, again.
The floor show is about to begin.
Must stone tights.
I was watching because when they did the alarm this episode, Cynthia had no makeup on, and I was just like, "What the fuck is she gonna do?" And then we saw it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." But let's dive.
Abora.
Hey, Boulets! Hey, Boulets! We're gonna cover you, but hey, Boulets!
Morta and Swanthula.
I finally remember who is who now.
One short, one's not. That's
The tall one is Drac. I
Poor
remember
diva.
it. Floor show theme, Haunted Hotel.
Great
This was
job,
the
Logan.
only image. Thank you. This is the only image of hotel that I could find.
And it was
So I
perfect.
said, well, I didn't do that much searching for it. I found this one and said, great, cool, love it.
work.
Lovely.
I will agree with what you said earlier, though, Lana. I don't think the lip sync performances were all that strong overall.
Mhm.
There were, for me, there were two people that stood out in the lip sync specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And for
Right.
me, it was JK and Fantasia.
Yes.
I feel
Yes.
like Fantasia missed an opportunity with her outfit in order to make her performance better, but that's just me.
Outfit, yes, I agree. I don't think she had the best
Yeah.
look, but her performance, she
Okay,
This is what she
shined.
does.
The only thing she had, I mean, I think she could have won this episode if she would have used her microphone to sing into it that she had around her neck. And she did not do that.
Did she not
She
do
did
it a
not-
couple
she-
times?
No, I didn't see it once.
I
And
don't think
maybe
she
she
did.
did it and it got edited out, but I was sitting there watching it because we'll get to her outfit, but like it was just sitting there and I'm like, Fantasia, just use the microphone, please.
I have to assume it was edited out, and I think that's probably because spoiler, she ends up safe this episode. So they probably had to take and edit the things to show the people in the top doing well and the people in the bottom not doing well. So
I mean, it's fair.
I feel like if you have a microphone prop and that's part of how you died,
Yeah.
yeah, I would use it. So, and
Mhm.
you know, Fantasia is a seasoned enough performer to where I feel like it was. I would be surprised if she didn't.
That's why I was thinking I was watching it. I know she's got tons of experience. That's why I was just waiting for it to happen. And in retrospect, it probably did get edited out, but
Mhm.
you know.
Absolutely. First up, Throb Zombie. Jack, let's start with you today, Jack.
I really did like this look. It's really well put together. You can tell immediately that this person is a villain. The red on, I'm pretty sure those are rubber gloves. Like rubber gloves that you could throw away to get rid of evidence. Like, the story came across pretty clearly. I do agree that it doesn't make as much sense with a haunted hotel theme, because did this person just walk into the hotel and start killing people? Was that the idea? But I mean, the overcoat and everything having like a kind of teal-ish tinge with white and rhinestones and all that. I think this was a really nice look.
I would agree. I would think it's a nice look. I just didn't understand it for the theme of the floor show. I was like, it's nice. She did the makeup well. They did the makeup well. I mean, once he explained the story in the lounge, and I was like, oh, once it's a he, right?
He.
It's he. It's he.
I
That's
would
what I
have
thought.
sworn it was swapped around. But
Let's
maybe not.
check.
Yeah.
He, they.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
We were both
You're very
correct.
welcome.
Anyway.
Everyone's right. Yay!
Yay!
But yeah, in when he was putting it together and explaining the story, I was like, okay, that makes sense. The victims are on the coat, but I didn't understand, like, the performance just didn't give that to me. Like, did you kill the victims? Do we see the victims get killed? Or, I mean, what is it? You just walking around the hotel after you killed everybody? Like, sup? Yep, I killed him. Sup? I don't get it. But he looks amazing, like very pimp, very swaggish. I was like, the swag is off the charts on this. He looks really good in the suit and is perfectly fit for him. And love the hair with that. Yeah, I just didn't get the performance for me.
I agree completely. I think the concept was spot on for me. Where it lost it was I just didn't. The whole cape is then behind him. And so I would have loved if he had just like laid it out and done something specifically with the cape to show off like that was what the overall idea was. Because I'm going to be honest, I was a little surprised that Throb was in the top. Based on just what we saw alone, I do think this is a very strong look. For me, I would have had somebody else in the top. But I do think this is incredibly solid. This is 3 weeks in a row that we've seen very, very solid, great looks from Throb. So I'm definitely not complaining. Shouldn't have been anywhere near the bottom. But I wouldn't have put him in the top based on what we saw. But still very good.
For me, personally, and I will admit, I'm a fan of Throb. I want to get that out of the way, right? I don't really care for this too much. I think the concept's there, and I think the outfit's like fine, right? And the makeup's always on point with Throb. That's never an issue. But to me, a big aspect of this challenge was like, you died at the haunted hotel, right? I don't really understand how Throb died. And that's a big problem for me. And this is not the only person that this has been an issue with this particular week. We'll talk about somebody later. But I just don't get it. And like, I like the outfit. I think it's like a very well put together garment. But for me, I also would not have put Throb in the top this week. I was very surprised I was surprised that 2 out of the 3 people on the top, not gonna lie. So I don't agree, but I'm not mad. I can see the logic. And if somebody else got something out of it that I didn't, oh well.
I mean, he's just the killer. I think he just took it in the sense of I'm the killer. I do agree with you. I don't get the sense of how he died specifically, but yeah. Scores.
I'm gonna go with an 80.
I'm gonna go with the 82.
I'm gonna give it a 90.
I'm gonna give it a 75. Quick question: are we scoring the performance as well as the outfit, like together as a
The
cohesive
package.
unit?
The package
Okay,
as a
yeah,
whole.
75 then.
And that's why I gave it a 90, because I thought his performance was actually one of the stronger ones. So Fantasia, Royale, Gaga.
Gaga.
Giving the Boop. Miss Boop, if you will.
This
Boop, boop, boop,
is
boop,
the
you are.
most confusing look of the week for me. Because if you told me this was Haunted Hotel and then presented me this look, I would be completely lost. For me at least, I can't see that they're dead. Like straight up, that's the issue that I see outright with this look, is that I don't get dead. I get Betty Boop, I get the whole reference, and I think it's a really, really smart reference for Fantasia because she has so exaggerated proportions, and that works perfectly with Betty Boop, and it translates immediately. If you made maybe the microphone wire more obvious that it's killing versus just a necklace, if she was maybe more ghostly, or like, for example, maybe have the dress be more tattered, I think that would have put the look much higher. But for now, this look does not fit the category. Fantasia's performance during the actual lip sync was amazing, though.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know if this look is screaming haunted hotel. I mean, I get it. You're the lounge singer at the hotel and you're singing and the microphone kills you. I get it. But like, what does it about this look says that? It's just says that you're singing. You could be singing anywhere. You don't have to be at the hotel. You could be singing anywhere with that microphone. It just didn't give Haunted Hotel enough, but I think she saved herself with the performance of this look. Yeah, I think it was a little bit confusing. It was a little bit like, and I appreciate them actually giving Fantasia the feedback that she needed so she can understand what it is that she needs to do, because I feel like she's a little lost in what this competition actually is and what is expected of her, because she's so used to being the icon, the legend. She's Fantasia Royale Gaga, and she's, people know her all over the world, and she is just, she does what she does so well that getting into this competition is so far from what she does. I think she just thought, oh, if I'm a little bit spooky, from time to time, that'll get me by because I'm such a great performer. No. You have to tap into the filth, into the horror, not just the glamour, because you got the glamour part down. We can see you can do glamour, but we need to see that you can do filth and you can do horror as well. And right now she's just giving us a little spooky glamour, a little spooky, a lot more glamour. So I'm glad that they gave her the feedback, so maybe she can take that, listen, go back and adapt some things, hopefully, because I do believe she has it in her. I do believe that she could surprise a lot of people, and I am just waiting for the moment where she beats Jarvis. Not to say I don't like Jarvis, because I appreciate Jarvis, but I don't like how Jarvis be coming for Fantasia every single week. And same thing with Throb. Like, they come for Fantasia like, I don't know if she could do it. I don't think she could do it. I need her to show them Yes, I can do this. This is why I was invited to be on this competition. You ain't the only spooky people in this building. I can do it. So that's what I want from Fantasia. I want her to take all that hate that's coming her way, but listen to the criticism and the good advice coming from the Boulets. Take that, use the hate as the motivation, mash it all together, and let's come out thriving next week. I have a lot of hope for Fantasia, but this just wasn't it.
Yeah, I agree. I think what really saved her from being in the bottom, if I'm honest, is the performance, because I thought her performance was actually my favorite of anybody's.
Mine too.
I also love that she chose Betty Boop as the inspiration for this, seeing as how the character Betty Boop was created from a caricature of a Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I do love that. Yeah, Esther Dave.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that figured out recently, or like was
Oh,
that
no,
okay? That was re-brought up because of
We've been new.
If you know anything,
Esther Jones is her name.
yeah, if you know anything about Betty Boop from her origins, it's definitely something that
I think a lot of people will now soon, because I don't know who's seen it, but Boop the musical was announced recently, and I, for one, am fucking thrilled.
That's beautiful. I can't wait. Look, I can't wait
With the
till
lead being a powerful, gorgeous Black woman.
That's about to say. I can't wait till they cast a beautiful Black woman, and
They sure did.
And all of white people will lose their minds. I can't believe you're changing Betty Boop. Like, oop, nope. Do the research. You changed Betty Boop.
You sure did.
Yeah.
So I do love that is the direction that Fantasia took with this. I do agree. I just want it to be a little bit more ghostly. I want it, like, I think if she had even done something like done some different highlighting in her makeup, even. Like, I just need something. Does she look stunning and gorgeous and melanated and beautiful and that skin is radiating? Absolutely, and I love it. And I want that. But not for a haunted hotel challenge.
Exactly.
I did like the part of her performance in the floor show after she was lip syncing as well, using the chord as like, I got the way she died. I understand that. Love it. I just would have liked a little bit. She's at like 60-70% for me, and I just need her to amp it all the way up. And that is the one thing I do love about the Boulets as well, is a couple episodes in every season, they're like, if someone is safe and has been safe the whole time, it's like, you're safe, but we want you to get feedback too, because we know it's difficult when you don't get feedback. So here's our feedback for you. And I love that they did that with both Jarvis and Fantasia in this episode. So I just want a little bit more from Fantasia. That's all.
I actually quite enjoyed this. Because to me, okay, do I agree that it doesn't necessarily give hotel? Yes.
I'm not saying it's not giving hotel. I'm saying it's not giving haunted.
Okay, to me, it's like, can I tell how she died? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it reverential of like an early 1900s? Like, could I see this person being at a hotel in the early 1900s? Yeah, I can. So to me, both of those things make sense, and I feel like it works really well. My only problem is it's less of the outfit and like the construction of any of that. It's literally just the details. And I agree. I think the big pitfall this week was kind of her makeup. Because to me, if you see this outfit and like, let's say her skin's like a little bit bluer, or like just like a little bit of a shading difference on the contour, something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think that would have been enough for me to put her in the top. Because her performance, I don't know if she was the best. She was definitely in the top 2 for the performance this week. Because JK was also really great. But like, I just think it's just that tiny little push of like small edits that really made the difference between her being safe and in the top. I don't think she was anywhere near the bottom for me. She was like 4th or 5th for me this week, I think. But yeah, I really enjoyed this outfit, and I cannot wait for more Fantasia because I really am enjoying her.
Oh, I love her.
And you know what I think? I agree with you, Brooke. If she would have put a little bit of the makeup around her neck, right where the cord was strangling her, and then put like a little purplish or blue tint around her lip, so it looks like she's losing breath, and it's
Yeah.
showing that this is what I'm doing. I'm suffocating because they're strangling me right now or whatever. That would have just made that would have just pushed it over the edge, like you said, because we could see how she died. We understand the story. We understand how she died. But if she would have just tweaked a little bit of the details, put some makeup around the neck to show that that's where you were strangled, put a little detail around the mouth to show that you're losing air, and so now it's like sucking the life out of you. Just a little white, a little purple, a little bluish on the like around the mouth, and it just to haunt it up a little bit, just a little bit.
I mean, especially because you're on Dragula, right? And Dragula, like the makeup on Dragula is always like amazing, outstanding. Like it's such a big part of a lot of these performers' outfits and their looks and their brands that I feel like that just a tiny edit would have made this a huge difference, and it would have been the difference between her being in the top and being in safe, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Scores.
I'm gonna go with a 70 here.
I'm actually gonna go with an 84.
I'm gonna give her an 85.
I will also be giving her an 85.
Lovely.
Per.
Orkgotik.
Boot.
I'm
Literally boot.
I'm so confused. Like, this is probably one of the most confusing looks of the night, if not the season. Why is there a shrimp on his head?
I think I can explain it. So I think the difficulty is this was a challenge that was never going to fit into what Orc does in his drag, because his drag is so horror but also so futuristic that anything involving having to go back in time, I feel like was just going to be a little bit more difficult for him to do. Now, can I explain this look in depth to you on what it's supposed to be? No. But I think the main thing is it's just this futuristic character that he presents usually, but taken into this like almost modern thing, because that would be the past for Orc's character, is at least kind of the way that I interpreted it.
Yeah, but why the shrimp? Like that's the part that fucks me up, is like, okay, I can get the rest of it being like futuristic
Gentlemen
hotel.
walking into the hotel. Yeah, I don't know.
I think maybe he's a maitre d' at the hotel restaurant, and he is in there, and that's why he got the shrimp on his head. I think he got attacked by the food at the restaurant where he's the maitre d'. That's what I got from it. That's what I got from it.
But to go off something that JK said in the Cauldron, if you have to explain it, there's a problem there. I didn't get that. To me, it was like Orkgotik mixed with like what's the word I'm looking for? What are those things called? Like coattail kind of vibe here. Like it almost reads more like 1800s to me in terms of the outfit, minus the boots and the headwear. Like, I don't know. I just, but and again, something that the Boulet say, it's not up to them to question your drag. It's how you interpret the challenge, right? And if they're going for, because it's pretty clear, you're supposed to get like early 1900s hotel. Even if Orkgotik is futuristic and then moving to the present would be like the past for their drag character, right? If you get told to do something early 1900s, do it early 1900s.
Well, I mean, I think I agree with you, and I agree with what JK said in the Cauldron, was saying that you have to explain it so much, it's just missing the mark, because nobody should have to explain it that much. And I agree. When I thought about it, I was like, yeah, it shouldn't be something I have to think about and be like, oh, what is that? Like Jack said, what is the shrimp on the head? Why is it there? I shouldn't have to be like, well, maybe he's this. Oh, well, or he could be that. It should be because even with this outfit, he looks like a maitre d', but he could also be a concierge, or he could also be a bellman or the doorman. Like it's so many things he could have done and that he possibly is. So it just makes it more confusing. So I get it. And me personally, he would have been in my bottom because I wouldn't have understood what this was all about. And if I have to think about it and come up with my own story, and then what if I come up with my own story and then ask him about it, and it's a completely different story from what I thought about. Now I'm like, oh, I am utterly confused now, sir. So I have no idea what you're doing and who this character is supposed to be. So yeah, for me, Jarvis didn't even need to use that on Orkgotik because it would have been him in the first place.
I think this was I think Orkgotik was in the bottom here because for the last 2 times that the key was used, it was specifically mentioned because of the key, the rankings have changed. This time around, there was 0 mention of changing. So I think that Orkgotik was always going to be in the bottom here. And Jarvis just did the dirty work for the Boulets.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, thank you, Jade. But like,
Thanks, Jade.
but like, we're best friends. But no, like again, for me, this was my bottom of the entire week out of everyone. I think, like, even with Satanna's performance not being great and Anna's being a little bit confusing, this was my absolute worst of the week because it doesn't meet the criteria. And again, it's a really cool outfit, right? And like the actual composition is not like bad to look at or anything. It's just, I don't get it. And I don't think anyone really got it other than Orkgotik. So
Orkgotik got it. But anyway.
Scores.
I'm going to go with a 65.
I will have to give it a 45 because I don't get it.
I think the drag here is good. I don't get the concept. I don't think the concept fits with this. But I think the drag is good. So I'm going to give him a 65.
I mean, also, to add on top of that, I didn't like Ork's performance either. So
You didn't like Ork? I would have never guessed that based on anything you said in this podcast today that you didn't like Ork this week.
No, I meant the performance as well, like the actual performance, like the lip sync.
No, but I'm
like
so surprised that you didn't like anything that he did this week. I'm just so shocked. I'm truly taken aback, Brooke.
Truly. You know what? I'm going to be salty and bitter. I'm going to plead for multitudes of reasons, but pleading the Pomara fifth.
That's fine with me. You're not going to see me over here complaining.
Not about this look.
No. Next up, Cynthia Doll.
Can I just say, when she stepped out, I did not immediately get what she was doing. To me, it read like changing of the guard in like England.
You better
not changing of the guard. I mean, you're not completely wrong that could possibly be that, but yeah, no.
That's just what I got. I know that's not what it is, but that's just what I got when I looked. I was like, okay, work diva, I guess.
I will say this look, at least for me, read really well. It just didn't do anything other than the concept of the challenge itself. Like, okay, Cynthia is a bell girl of the hotel. And that's where it stops. It executed the challenge. It was this is what I would call a safe look for the week. It is simple in concept, immediately readable, and honestly, I think if she pulled out the gag that she had while on stage, it may have worked better. But like, okay, you have 2 suitcases. And
How did you
That's
die?
it.
How did you die?
Yeah, that it's just like bellboy that is dead and works at the hotel, and that's it.
Yeah. She is literally the epitome of she did the assignment. She understood the assignment. She did the assignment. She turned it in right on time. She did exactly what was asked. No more, no less. She gave it right on time. It was 11:59 was the due date. She sent it in at 11:59. Like that was it. She left no wiggle room to change anything. It was the epitome of I'm just going to do what I need to do to get a passing grade. And that's what she did. It was safe. You knew exactly who she was. She was Bellman. She came out. She had the suitcases. That's it. She had ghostly makeup on, so we knew she was a ghost. That's it. No extra frills, no extra whistles and bells and nothing. She just gave it to us what we asked for, and that was it. So for that, I'm like, cool, girl. Do you understood the assignment and you gave it in and you got a passing grade. Ain't no extra credit on it. Ain't no, some extra points for this border that you put on the poster board, or you colored it in. Nope, you gave it a straight pencil and you turned it in and said, here you go. And you know what? If it's gonna keep you another week, do you, boo-boo?
She followed the assignment. The assignment was met. The assignment was turned in on time. She did not do a single extra credit thing because she knew she didn't need to. She did it. The makeup here, I love this makeup, and I love that we're seeing something different from Cynthia. That's what I really love, is all 3 weeks we've seen her so far, her makeup has been different, and the way she's presenting herself has been very different, and I appreciate that. I like to see a contestant on Dragula with that much versatility. And clearly Cynthia has that. The garment, fine. I wish it was, I wish she had pulled out the gag that she had in the Cauldron. I think that would have been perfect. But she turned it on time, acceptable, lovely, wonderful. The safest possible person I think I've ever seen on Dragula. Honestly.
To me, yes, she was safe. I also think she low-key kind of quit this assignment a little bit, because I get bellhop, right? Like, obviously with the suitcases and the outfit, like, whatever, the makeup's great as usual, like, no problems there. But, like, Lana said it, how did she die? I don't get it. I don't see that. So to me, it's like a C-. I don't think it's like an A or anything. But to be fair, a C- is fine when you're up against a few Fs. So, I mean, hey.
She just wanted a passing grade. She got a passing grade, period.
Exactly. She wasn't trying to win, and I respect it. Mad respect.
I do agree with that. I do still think this gives more ghost bellhop than anything else. And so I will give her the props of actually, like, the character itself seems fully realized, even if we don't know specifically how they died. And I don't think it was ever mentioned specifically, explicitly in the challenge saying we needed to see how you died.
True.
So for me, I'm like, at least it's a fully realized character that fits into this narrative. And for that, I'm going to give her the props, because there are some people, and I'm going to say it, Fantasia, unfortunately, that I don't think did that nearly as well as what Cynthia did. So.
Fair enough.
Scores.
This for me is an 80.
I would give it a 75.
I'm going to give her an 82.
I said C-, so I'm going to stick to my guns and give her a 70.
All right. Niohuru X.
I like this look. In terms of the actual composition, it is clearer as to what the concept is. In terms of actual death, I'm not sure. And that's the part that I'm kind of...
She shattered through the mirror.
Right. That's what I thought it was.
She shattered through the mirror.
Yeah.
Or the picture frame, But I have a funny. I think it's a mirror because I actually think there's
think it
glass
has to be a
fragments in the gown as well somewhere.
I was gonna say I wasn't 100% confident that I didn't see glass shards, but yeah, no. In that case, this reads really well. It reads socialite who's going to have a wedding, and maybe her husband got sick of her and smashed her through a mirror, and she's dead.
Or a bridesmaid.
Or a bridesmaid, yeah. Like it's
I'm
just
not always the bridesmaid anymore.
You're being a bride, Philip. You know something.
Shut up about the table arrangements. I don't care that you like crab rangoons.
Hey, not too much of crab rangoons.
No, baby, trust and believe. I'm currently perfecting my own recipe for homemade crab rangoons. Love. If there's one thing we stand here more than most things in the world at the cup, it is crab rangoons. Wow.
Yes, Jack. Finish.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good job. Good job. This is a really, really strong execution of the concept. And Niohuru wasn't bad this week for performance either. And once again, this is what, her third, fourth time ever performing?
That's what she said.
So good on her.
Props to you, Mama.
Yeah, I thought it was good. She looked good. I'm not surprised from what we've seen in the past. Her makeup is always going to be stunning. I like this concept. I thought she pulled it off well, and I thought her performance was well. I would have loved to see more of the glass shards. I know we see it some throughout the dress, but I wanted to see more, like a big piece or something, maybe sticking out her face or something to make it even more gory.
I think it's coming out of the eye as well.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think
so
I couldn't really tell all that much.
Whatever it is, I like it. She did well, and yeah, props to her.
I think that if this challenge was based solely off of the look, I think Neo could have won. And I would have been 100% okay with that. This is my favorite thing she's presented so far. Her performance was not groundbreaking. I don't think it was perfect. I don't think it was bad by any means. I just wish we had gotten a little, and this comes with time and having more performance experience under her belt. But I would have loved had she just leaned into like sobbing wife, like just really like gotten into it and been like very physical in her movements and getting like crashing to the floor at certain moments. I don't know. This song didn't really necessarily like call for that either. But I just wish she stood in one place and she delivered a good performance. Not a great performance, but a good performance. But I think if the winner was based solely on look this week, I do think Neo would have won, and I would have been okay with that because this is spectacular.
I will continue to not discuss this performer. That is all.
Okay. Scores.
This for me feels like a 90.
I'll give it a 92.
Pass.
I wasn't gonna cue to you, but that's all right, honey. Blackberri.
This so what just as a note, thank God that Onyx got eliminated last week.
I know I was gonna say that because Onyx had the same concept.
Literally the exact same concept. Like it wasn't like slightly different. I guess it was slightly different, but like it was nearly the same.
We would have had 2 bellhops and 2 cigarette girls, and that would have been fun.
Yeah, but the bellhops are different enough to where it's like one is obviously carrying the suitcases, one is checking people in, versus this and Onyx's look were nearly identical, just in a different color palette, which was really unfortunate. this look is really nice. And it's clear that she was put on fire. At least that's what I got from it, just based off the bottom of the dress here. And I think it was a good look. That's about where it ends for me. I think it's a good look, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoy this. I think of the two, if Onyx was there, I think between Onyx's portrayal and Blackberry's, I do prefer Blackberry's. I think the lip sync itself, I would say my top 3 of the week as far as the lip sync itself were concerned would have been Fantasia, JK, and Blackberry. I do think Blackberry did a very good job in the lip sync, and I do think that is kind of part of what ultimately kept her safe. Because the look is not groundbreaking by any means of the imagination. I think it's good. I love all the cigarette details. I love the fags across the front. I think that's a really, like, all of the detail work here is good. The concept just isn't the most grandiose and out there concept. But I think what she did with it and what she did with it in the performance, I think was good.
So I have taken the liberty of looking up Onyx's outfit for this because I had not seen it yet. I prefer Onyx's. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's like a more fully realized version of this look, and like I can very clearly see the death in that. Versus here, like, sure, she's got some white makeup on her face to like indicate maybe ashes, because the Boulet's talked about it too, that it was kind of confusing and you can't really get it from that. And like, I don't think the outfit's bad. I think her performance was really good this week too, but it's missing something for me. And I don't like saying that because I really do enjoy Blackberry, but I don't know. There's just a little piece missing, and I couldn't really put my finger on exactly what it is. But comparing it to Onyx's look with like the burned side piece on Onyx's and like the red, like the blood, like the Onyx is more appealing to me personally. But I do like Blackberry, and I'm happy she's still here. So, yay, Blackberry.
Scores.
This is going to be an 85.
I'm going to give Blackberry an 80.
I'm going to give Blackberry a 74.
Now, next up is Satanna. And I would like to point out that this garment was made by Abora.
Abora.
Abora. I've been waiting all episode.
I can see it. Yeah.
I definitely see it.
I really do like this look. And it is the one thing I'll say is, I mean, I think there are some stab wounds on the bottom, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, because it is clear how she died, but once again, it's just like, okay, we're gonna use the pretty basic example of like a socialite who died. Like, this is classic 1920s. I think the makeup is amazing. The dress itself, amazing. I think there was a little bit more she might have been able to do with it, but I still enjoyed the look. The performance, not as great, I'm gonna be honest. This is one of the performances that I did not enjoy nearly as much as some of the standouts of the evening. But it was still a good time.
Yeah, I think the difficulty here is I don't think anything Satanna did was inherently bad in this episode. I think the garment is actually really lovely. The makeup is great. I think it all comes together in a very lovely way. I do just think, unfortunately, a lot of other people on both the look and the performance aspect were stronger. And it just comes down to, this is a very strong season of Dragula that we're seeing already. Because I would even say the same thing about Onyx. I think Onyx's aesthetic and what they brought were great, but this is just a very, very competitive season already with a lot of really strong drag artists. And I'm not saying Satanna isn't, because I do really like Satanna. But I think ultimately what dropped her into the bottom was just that the performance didn't feel dynamic whatsoever. And I mean, if she didn't relate to the song, she didn't relate to the song, but at the end of the day, you have to sell it. And I wasn't sold. Lana's back. Well,
Yes.
welcome back. Oh, wrong show.
Hi,
Lana.
Uglies.
Hi, Uglies. I would never say that about Lana, but
True.
You could. It's okay.
Satanna.
I thought this was a okay look. It just didn't do anything for me. It was, I didn't get any sort of feelings from this look. It was like, is it pretty? Sure. It's the showgirls, get it. But am I supposed to be scared, or am I supposed to be feel bad for her because of how she died? I don't know. It just didn't do anything for me. Nothing spectacular. It was fine. That's it.
Meh. Like, meh. I'm sorry. I'm kind of sick of just the showgirl aesthetic in general. No shade to Satanna. I've just seen so many showgirl looks this past like year and a half of drag that I'm like, I need something new, right? Like it was the trend for a bit, and I need a break. But for the challenge, this works really well. I don't have a problem with it for the challenge, but it is kind of basic comparatively. I like the boa. I'm here for the boa. You know, I love a good boa moment. But like, and then the performance was just.
But she didn't have a boa moment. That was one of the major
That
things.
was the problem,
like,
is she didn't have the boa moment.
No, well, she has a boa, and she is on stage for a moment, but there was no boa moment.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I just, especially because if you're going for showgirl, right? To me, you have to perform a little bit better in the lip sync in order to like fully sell the fantasy here, right? It's kind of the same thing like with Fantasia. Like if Fantasia wouldn't have done as well in the lip sync, that could have been a.
Well, Julie.
Did I blip? Am I back?
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay, great. But what was the last thing you all heard me say?
You essentially finished that sentence.
Okay, great. But like, if Fantasia wouldn't have done as good in the lip sync as she did, I think that could have been a reason to push her lower. And I think that's the same thing that happened with Satanna, was that your outfit is that you are a showgirl, a performer, and yet when you're performing, it's not. I don't get the full scope of the outfit. So yeah, not my favorite for the week.
Scores.
This is going to be a 75.
I would give it a 70.
77.
45.
Lana, would you like to go back and quickly score the ones that you were not present for?
Was it only just one?
I think it's 2.
Okay. I'll just quickly give scores then.
Blackberri.
78.
And Neo.
88.
Because you talked Cynthia.
Yes,
Great.
I did.
JK!
Yes.
Yes! Work!
This very much was JK's challenge to just be a little devil. I mean, literally, they just camped it up fully. They had the reveal, well, the 2 reveals actually, because there's the cabinet and the hat, but also the bell on the head, just the overall movements while portraying this character, perfect. And they were probably the best during the lip sync. So good on them. The only thing that slightly confuses me, the hell are those shoes?
Who cares?
The shoes.
But yeah, no, that's literally the only thing that I have a critique on is the fuck are those shoes?
I mean, I feel like JK gave us the camped up version of working. He's like the desk at the hotel or the bar of the hotel. Like his person is like, I'm the person you get all your stuff from, and you can ring my bell when you want to get, you know, like it's so like campy and stupid, but in the best way possible. It could be campy and stupid. And for me, the shoes don't matter because I feel like it just adds to the element of the campness. It's like, yeah, are the shoes ugly? Sure, but they're stupid. And just like his outfit, is his outfit something that I'm like, this is the best looking outfit? No, it's cardboard. It's crazy pants, the way it fits, and it's the shoulders are over exaggerated. It's so crazy and campy, but it's so good. It's so wrong, it's right. I think that's what it is. It's so wrong, it's right. And they played up to just the element of being in this haunted hotel and working in this haunted hotel. I enjoyed it. I appreciate it for them, and I'm glad that they were able to be on top and shut a couple of people up. Period.
Damn. This was great. This was spectacular. The entire performance of this from top to bottom was great. Their lip sync was fantastic. I've seen videos of them lip syncing before prior to the season, and I knew that when we got a lip sync challenge, and I'm thankful we got a lip sync challenge so early on this season. I do really think the Boulets are listening, which I really appreciate. But yeah, I think just the whole top to bottom, all of this was so smart, so perfect for Jay. Job well done.
So on the Dragula Titans episode I was on, because I was only there for the premiere, because I stopped watching after Erica went home.
We know.
Yeah, I made no bones about it. I said that Abora probably had my favorite look in the history of the show with the Ghost Town look from season 2, right? This is now my new favorite look that has ever been on Dragula. It is perfect from top to bottom. It meets the criteria for the challenge. You know how JK died. The outfit is, I mean, it's so haunting, right? Like when JK stepped out onto that runway, the first second I'm like, holy shit, was my immediate response. And then the performance was at minimum top 2 out of all the lip syncers. So for me, when I was watching, I'm like, JK's about to win this episode, and I'm gonna be really happy afterwards. And then there was a small part of me that thought maybe they'd be like, you did a little bit too much, but you know, like that kind of thing. And then when that didn't happen, I was very happy. So exquisite. The TV, Miss Cindy, is leaking, etc.
Well, I didn't ask for scores yet, but all right then.
Well, we just know Brook's score from this point on. So Brook needs to say nothing else because we know the TV is leaking. Period.
Yeah, no, this is a full. This is a TV leaking for me as well. This is just exactly what this challenge needed. If you really did have two routes, you were either going to go super campy and super funny about it, which JK did, or you're going to go super gory or super glamour, which Neo did. So fully leaking at this point.
I am going to actually give JK a full cup this time because I feel like when you deserve, and they deserve.
It's full. Full for sure.
Let's go, collective panel agreement. Woohoo!
Next up, anaphylactic. I had to cover one of these images for obvious reasons and replaced it with a rubber ducky.
Because
You know,
they're so cute.
It was the first thing I thought. I was like, I don't know what to cover this with. And it was almost a pool noodle, but I thought a rubber ducky would be cuter.
Could have been that one gif of Kristen Chenoweth on Drag Race with the bubble gun.
A bubble gun.
Oh god.
A bubble gun.
So funny.
yeah.
Should I go next year for Halloween as Kristen Chenoweth with a bubble gun? A bubble gun.
If that's what you want to do, my dear.
Sorry, Jack. Go ahead.
Anaphylactic is probably the biggest letdown of this season. Because I don't know what happened. It sucks to say that. But, like, I don't know how deep they're in their own head here. But, it feels like every single time they're just missing the mark, or they're just not doing enough, or they don't have enough confidence in in herself. Like, I want to see that fire and that passion from her, and I just don't. And it's really, really sad. Because I love her style of drag. I just think she's being so heavily outpaced. Like, it's not even close. And this look is the exact same thing where it's like, you had a great concept. It's just the reveal is not enough. And the garment itself, beautiful. It just, at least for me, there's more that could be done.
I agree. I think I expected more from anaphylactic. I wanted more, and I think she can still give more. I just do believe she is either in her own head or very much not. She didn't realize how much mental this competition actually is, as well as just learning how to get in good drag and do a good performance, because you have to mentally prepare yourself for everything and every situation. And I think when she wasn't doing so well the first 2 weeks, it kind of just messed with her. And it was like, because she's probably so used to being one of the best, one of the greatest, one of, someone who everybody looks up to. And I feel like when she's not able to handle not being on top. And so it's showing in the performances, lack of details, lack of just, because like I said, good concept is there. It could all you have to do is push it just a little bit more. Same thing we said about Fantasia. You have the concept, this concept is good. You just have to push it a little bit further. If she would have took the weapon that she had in her hand, and like she said, when she's going to use it, don't just put a little stain on your forehead. Like, give us a whole scene. Give us a scene where you're doing it and taking yourself out, and you're, something explodes and it's a matter or all it. It just needed more. It's like she was on the cusp of making it great and just reined it back in. And she looks fine. She looks great. It's just not enough punch for this runway.
I think the garment itself is actually really good. I don't really have an issue with the garment. I think it conveys the story. I get who she is in this hotel, and I get how she died. That she did it herself. It's just, for me, I feel like she's at 60 or 70%, and I just need her to be all the way there. And I'm upset about it. But I think her makeup here is incredible. I think the actual lip sync itself, it was actually one of my favorites. I would put her in my top half. But it just didn't all come together the way that I would have liked it.
I'm gonna just disagree with the entire panel real quick. Being honest. Um, I really enjoy this. And I don't, maybe it's not, it wouldn't have been in my top. I don't think Anna was like top 3, top 4 material for me this week, but I definitely think Anna should have been safe. I don't see a world where Anna is anywhere in the bottom 3 or bottom 4. I think Anna's like a perfect safe for me this week. I really love the Garmont. I really loved her lip sync. I thought she was probably third to Fantasia and JK for me. And sure, was it a little bit melodramatic? Yeah, but like, I really enjoy it. So yeah.
I
That's it.
don't. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, like it's just, I don't know. I get maybe she needs to get out of her head a little bit. You could see a little bit of that, like she's overthinking the challenges, maybe a smidge. But like that feels like a safe critique to me because I don't see any out like there's no major problem with this outfit in terms of interpreting the challenge because it's pretty evident to me, or the performance because her performance was good. So to me, both of those things, I feel like she should have been safe. I don't think it was like groundbreaking, like literally breaking the ground, but other than that, yeah, I think she should have been safe.
Of course.
Yeah. I will just quickly say, I don't think she was ever in danger of actually going home during this extermination unless she
Agreed.
literally didn't do it. I think
Agreed.
this was very much like a wake-up call of being like, get your head in the game because you will not survive your next.
It was a kick under the ass.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This look for me is about a 77.
I actually would agree with you on that 77.
I too was planning to give this a 77.
So I was planning to give it a 79 just for symmetry. Let's just make it a 77 for fun.
Yay! 77s across the board.
Jackpot,
Yeah.
everybody. Woo, jackpot.
And last up, I had to save him for last because, of course, he is the ghost of it all. Jarvis Hammer.
I want to say so many positive things, but it's really, really hard to. This particular look, yeah, Jarvis is a ghost. That kind of comes with the territory. Is he just traveling? Like, I'm having a hard time seeing haunted hotel in this. This is an amazing look. And it reminds me beautifully of a haunted mansion ghost.
That's what I got too.
But it's a haunted mansion ghost, not a haunted hotel ghost. And yeah, he had a suitcase that had a bunch of different stamps on it. So it was obvious he was traveling. It's just, if you take that one element out, you cannot link this to hotel. And I think, yeah, Jarvis fully got in his head here because he was like, I have to be the best I can because this is my category. And I think it definitely got to him. To be honest, I thought Jarvis was going to be in the bottom here because they just had a higher expectation for Jarvis, being how this is like his home category, and it just, I mean, it's good. And I also do like the hat. The hat is really nice. I want that. But yeah, that's ultimately where I'm at, where it's like, great look, not the category.
I have to agree with Jack on this one. I was like, because we know this is Jarvis's character. We know this is who he is. He's going to always give us the ghost. That's just who he is. But I'm like, what is right? Ooh, spooky. But like, what does your ghost have to do with the? What does the ghost have to do with the hotel part of it all? You're traveling. Good. Okay. Well, give us something in the performance, because all they did was sit on the suitcase. That's all he did was sit on the suitcase. I'm like, so you're taking a break? You're resting? What does this mean? It just didn't do anything for me. But is Jarvis Hammer a good ghost? Absolutely. This is what Jarvis Hammer does, and I didn't expect any less from Jarvis Hammer. But I agree with the Boulet brothers. As soon as that hat fell off, they lost it. He lost it. He didn't know what to do, and he kind of just went back into himself. And so I don't know. I don't know what I think he kind of lost it. But was he the worst? No. Should have been safe. Yes. So I'm happy with where he was, but I just hope that they could come out of their own heads. Stop trying to be the perfectionist and just have fun with this competition.
Yeah, I agree. I think up until the moment where the hat slipped off and he kind of like fell apart, I do think the performance was actually pretty good. I think the look is actually really great too. But again, I agree with you both. I don't necessarily know how this exactly fits into Haunted Hotel. But the look is great. I want to acknowledge the makeup because again, 3 weeks in a row, I think we are just getting spectacular makeup from Jarvis. And following him on TikTok, I learned some new interesting fun things because he's doing a weekly review of Dragula, both in and out of drag, which is very fun. And fun fact for your podcast today, apparently Jules, aka Jarvis, is half Uruguayan.
Huh.
So that's fun.
That's always fun.
That's lovely. So in case you didn't know, now you know. But yeah,
good for them.
I was very worried given the choices he makes here very shortly that we will discuss. I was very worried, and then I was suddenly not worried again. So
I quite enjoyed this, to be honest. And to me, it's a lot of just I get Ghost, which is a huge perk for me because there are definitely people this week I didn't get Ghost from at all, and because of that, I am happier with this outfit than I maybe would have been otherwise. Because that's a big boost. I really enjoyed Jarvis in the lip sync. It was really campy and fun, and I appreciated that. And to counter something Jack said, okay, you had the suitcase with the stamps, but without that, we wouldn't have got that. Plus side, we had it. So there was at least something there to give us, you are at least traveling at minimum, right? So yeah, I really enjoyed this look. This was one of my favorites of the week, actually. So props to Jarvis, I guess.
scores.
This is going to be a 75.
I'm going to give it an 88.
I'm going to give it an 83.
I'm going to give it a 90.
Well, so it's at this point that the Boulets ask Jarvis, what do you want to do with your upgrade? And he decides to put Orkgotik in the bottom.
Work, Jarvis.
And in that moment specifically, I said, oh my God, yes, Jarvis, but also, oh my God, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you not saving yourself? Because I was convinced he was going to be in the bottom. And then he wasn't, and I was thrilled. But we get some very interesting, weird editing here. We end up finding out that the top three, eventually, it's Throb, Neo, and JK.
Mm-hmm.
And so they call, I think it was Cynthia and Blackberri are both safe. They keep Jarvis and Fantasia on stage. They're also safe, but got critiques. Again, love it. Love it, love it. Wonderful. And we find out that the winner of this week's challenge is JK!
We stay winning. Okay, that's all I have to say.
And because of the curse that Orkgotik was given by Jarvis, our bottom three ends up being Satanna, Anna, and Orkgotik.
Honestly, I think this was the bottom three they were planning for and just said,
Probably.
okay, well, Jarvis has put someone up. We're just gonna nominate the other two people that were already in the bottom and go with that.
It felt very like Anna may have been low again, but they're like, no, bitch, we need to see you prove yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I had to take someone out of this bottom three, it would be Anna.
Agreed.
But
yeah.
I'm glad that she was able to get the kick in the ass that I hope will propel her to the end of this competition. But we will talk about the extermination here in a second. What I want to talk about next is this cauldron and the lead up to the cauldron and everything that happens in the cauldron, because the first thing we see is Satanna, from what I saw, essentially quitting.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm out. When you say the words "I'm out," "I'm done," that usually means you quit. Quit.
But
They probably
apparently,
talked her back into it, but
the second that happened, because I was posting about it on our Discord where we meet up for stuff for the pod. I was posting about it in this little spoiler thread, and I was like, I cannot believe we have another quit. Are you serious? Because we just had to deal with the Melissa situation last season, and this is very similar to that, honestly, with the only difference being that Satanna actually came back to the show. But like, even if she came back, I knew the moment you say I'm done on Dragula, there is no hope for you. You are done. You are toast. You are going home. And the only way that I think she could have stayed was if Anna and Orkgotik straight up just did not do the extermination she did. And that's pretty rare. I think it's only happened a few times. So
yeah.
And I also
Violencia
think,
Dolly season 2.
yeah.
That's about all I
I
got.
also think she was going home pretty much regardless here. They were not going to let Orkgotik go. This was really just in the same vein as, I think it was Abora. No, I'm not thinking of it right. When they were like, you've won this challenge, but we want to put you in the extermination if you're willing.
Vander.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Vander.
Was it? I'm trying to remember now and my brain is not working, but yeah, just be like, you do not have to take this, but we want to test you because we haven't gotten to. And I think they would have done that with Orkgotik this week. I think Orkgotik was probably in the bottom anyway, but yeah, no, it was not. They might have gotten rid of Anna. They were never getting rid of Orkgotik. Not this early.
No. But we see more discussions in the cauldron. More people are upset that JK is doing well. Shocker. This week, Cynthia, you're safe. Apparently this week it's Orkgotik just going on and on and on and on. To which JK had some of the best comebacks I think we've seen ever. Fuck you, JK. I'm available.
No, my favorite was "You're coming for me" as the winner. Yes. Like, mint.
So good. So good. And then they all go to cheers their drinks at the end of the cauldron.
I'm irritated.
Orkgotik spills his drink all over JK.
I wouldn't even say spills. Orkgotik deliberately pours the drink on JK's head. Like, leans over and dumps it. No.
here's where I would get suspended from a show. because honestly, you don't disrespect me like that and pouring a drink on my head when everybody. It's cool when everybody else banter, but it ain't cool when I do it. That's how JK feel. Because if anybody else would have said that about Orkgotik, they would have took it with a grain of salt and would have been fine with whatever they said. But because it was JK, now it's the problem. And I'm like, that's a little but JK better than me, babe, because they are taking a lot from these people, and I would have been going off and been like, I don't know if that's how they do it where you from, but I'm from New York, and I will take you out right this minute if you pull a baby. That's where my head went. I don't know about nobody else, but my head was like, did he check? Oh no, absolutely not. I would have bop 2-piece. But some people are cooler heads than me. Good on you, JK. Good on you. Props. You're a patient person. I am not.
I would never.
I could never.
I could never. I would never. But let's bring up our bottom again, because we got to talk about the extermination.
Can we also mention that what was in Cynthia's briefcase?
Oh yeah.
Onyx's leg.
It was so stupid.
But
why didn't you bring that on the stage, fam?
Ma'am.
Who knows?
Like,
But
you had a perfect opportunity and you just burned it again. Whoops. But
yes. So the extermination is getting ratcheted down onto a bed covered in cheese and having
so
rats
valid, Lana.
cover you all over.
Bye, Lana.
That's so valid. I would have been okay. I'm gonna be honest with you.
This is legitimately, I think, the first time I have seen an extermination on Dragula that I said, nope, $100,000 is not worth it, not doing it, absolutely not, nope, bye. And I would have quit that damn show, had a fun little time filming my video at the end, and been happy. Because, like, they have finally pushed me too far, I think. For me.
I didn't mind it. I would have done it. I wouldn't have enjoyed it, but I would have done it.
It was fun to watch. I could not have done it. Let me put it that way.
Sure.
Orkgotik was just over here, like, pretty relaxed for most of it. Like,
enjoying.
Not much, yeah, which was. And then Anna had a few, like, don't go there kind of moments. And then Satanna's just freaking out most of the extermination.
Yeah. And we get to the death scene, and we do find out that it is Satanna who was eliminated. I think rightly so.
Shocker.
Rightly, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. I very much think it was her time.
Yeah, unfortunate, because I do really enjoy her. I would have liked to see more, but I just don't think what she was giving was at the level of where everybody else is currently in the competition.
Agreed.
We finished talking about the extermination, Lana. Don't worry.
Yeah, I could not be. I didn't watch it because I was severely grossed out. And that is my phobia. That is my phobia. That and snakes. So I couldn't do it. I can't talk about it.
But Satanna's gone.
But yes, Satanna's gone. I'm sad for her, but I feel like it was her time. Yeah. Once you say you go quit, that's pretty much it for me. You're done.
If only we could have seen Orkgotik go home. That would have been the cherry on top of a lovely week. But, oh well.
And on that note, we're done here. We're done with this episode of Dragula. Thank you for joining. Make sure to check out all of our other drag content. And we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Probably different panel to talk about episode 4 of Dragula. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe, hit all the buttons that say you support us, because we greatly appreciate your support. Follow us on our socials, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cup Pod, as well as all of our individual socials in the description below. And you can go get your merch, including but not limited to the cup mug. So, with all of that being said, cheers!
Cheers.
Bye.
Abora.
Abora.